around here. Let's continue on. We'll save that for last. All right, what we've got over here, some pretty cool features. Here's our 20-pound propane tank. That's going to power both the cooktop stove, the furnace, and also the refrigerator. It's a three-way refrigerator, so it runs on AC if you're hooked up to power, DC from the battery, but that's going to drain your battery rather quickly. And it also runs on gas. Kind of cool how a small flame can create a cooling effect. But you know what? I'm going to explain that in another video. For now, my recommendation is when you're going down the road, and if you have food in the fridge you want to keep cold, my recommendation would be having it set to the DC mode, because while it will draw from the battery, the truck is still going to be charging. Remember, as long as your battery cutoff switch is in the on position, the truck will still be charging the house battery, and the fridge can continue cooling. Doesn't draw that much power, but it enough to drain the battery rather quickly if there's no charging source or external power source. And this is just the vent for the back of the fridge, and this is just a condensation drain. Got a couple of outdoor speakers which work fantastically well. I tested them out last weekend, and what's really cool is we've got an awning. This is an electric awning. The best part about this awning, if you can see or not, but there's some LED lighting underneath there. And let me tell you, that lights up the campsite. It is bright. It's pretty cool. All right, so let's go on inside and see what we can see. I don't know if I mentioned, but that is an electric awning. So there's a switch inside to move the awning in and out. And then there's some support arms that once the awning is out, there's some support arms that drop down, and then they clip right in here, and you lock them in. And that just kind of keeps the awning more stable in the event of wind, high wind, or anything like that. But I'm telling you, those outdoor speakers are really cool. They also have LED lighting in them as well. All right, so let's talk about this for a moment. All right, so what we've got here is the sewer connection. This is the sewer cap. And inside here, if you can see very well, but the sewer hose, I keep the sewer hose in here. And one end of the sewer hose connects to the drain here. The other end goes into the dump station drain receptacle, whatever they call those things. I don't know what the technical term is for dump station components, but anyway, you can see inside here there's some T-handles, right? Now, one thing I'm going to tell you, you have a gray tank, you have your gray tank and your black tank. They're both 8 gallons each. And one thing I got to tell you, make sure when you're at the dump station, you're getting ready to drain the sewer. Now I know this from experience. Hate to say it, I got my worst dumping mistake out of the way early. Make sure the T-handle is closed before you remove this cap. I did not ensure the T-handle was closed, and I removed the cap and took quite a bath. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But so these T-handles, you'll pull them out. So what you do is take the cap off, make sure the T-handle's in, take the cap off, run the hose down to the drain, and then pull the T-handle and let the contents drain out. Now, my recommendation is drain the black tank first, and then drain the gray tank to help rinse out the sewer hose. Just kind of a thing I do, but anyway, so there's that. So let's go on inside. Now, one thing I really like about the design, and a lot of RV manufacturers are doing this, is the friction hinge. So there's no more latch. It used to be back in the day you'd bring the door back and latch it, but now they've got these friction hinges that work fantastic. So you're not gonna, you know, any wind gust is, it'd take a pretty stiff wind to slam the door shut. And I love the big grab handle. That's perfect. And one other thing I should add is there are, they do manufacture steps. As you can see, I'm using a step ladder. But this is actually working out really well. I wasn't sure how I was going to solve the problem of getting up and down, getting in and out of the camper, but these work actually really well, especially with this nice grab handle. I love this thing. And what's cool is when the door's shut, you can just fold it in. Kind of a little extra securities. Make sure the door doesn't come open going down the road, right? Oh yeah, got a screen door. Separate screen door. All right, let's go inside, see what we can see. All right, so as you can see, for a small short bed truck camper, and actually this particular model will fit long bed, 8-foot bed, as well as the short bed, 6.5 foot bed, and I believe it's even rated to be on a 5.5 foot bed. I don't know that I would want that, but anyway, I think it fits my 6.5 foot bed very well. Yeah, and one of the greatest things about it is, again, for a smaller camper, I tell you, the room in here is great. And I'm 6 foot 6'1", and so I'm not a short guy, but yeah, I can walk around in here, have plenty of head clearance, as you can see. No issues with that, and getting up and down from the master bed here, the queen size bed, is not a problem. And I love the windshield style front window. That is just fantastic. Then of course you have another window. Let's crawl up in here. You have another window over here, which also serves as an emergency exit. If you find yourself trapped up here and fire or whatever, you can pull this out and pull it back, and then the window will come out. It'll just hinge all the way up. You can jump out. That'd ruin a camping trip. And of course we've got a TV or entertainment center here. I don't yet have a TV. I imagine I'll probably get one eventually. My girlfriend likes to watch her TV. That's cool. That's cool. But anyway, let's see. We got a lot of charging stations here. So we've got not only the old 12-volt style cigarette lighter style charger, but there's plenty of USB. There's 2 here. There's one over there. One in that corner. There's a couple down here. And I think there's another one hiding here somewhere. But anyway, so yeah, here's where all your park cable and satellite connections would come through. Of course, power outlet, Wi-Fi and internet. So you can pre-wire it. There's an antenna on top that not only serves for local television antenna stations, but you can also get wireless internet if you subscribe to their service. This is pretty cool. This is the AM/FM stereo cassette, but it's also Bluetooth. And what's cool about it is, I don't know if you can see it or not, but you have Zone 1 and Zone 2. These, Zone 1 is going to be the internal speakers. You've got speakers there, you've got one back there, and then you have 2 in the living room area. And you also have the 2 outside. So Zone 1 is going to be inside, indoor speakers. Zone 2 is the outdoor speakers. You can have them both on. You can have just indoor on, or you can have just outdoor on. It's pretty slick. And I'm telling you, they sound great. Even the outdoor speakers, even for being outdoor speakers, you know, sounds fantastic. All right, here's the fridge. It's a 3 cubic foot fridge. You know, it's not huge by any means, but again, you know, you can get the job done. I just need a place to put my beer, and I'm good. Yeah, and like I said, yeah, you got a separate freezer up here. I don't know if I pointed that out or not, but that's a freezer. So you can put your ice cream or, you know, vodka, whatever. And here's a little control panel for the fridge. You can select temperature. This is the on and off. One thing, you remember earlier I mentioned about it's what they call a 3-way fridge. So it can run on DC, battery, AC from either an external power source, for an external power source, or gas. So the fridge is going to, so when you turn the fridge on and you select the switch to auto, when there's power on, I don't have power on the unit right now, but when there's power on the unit, on the camper, a little orange LED is going to illuminate right there. And that's going to tell you that it's in auto. So when you turn the fridge on, it's going to look for three things. It's going to look, okay, do we have AC power? No, we don't have AC power. Okay, do we have DC power? No, we don't have DC power. Do we have gas? And it's going to look to see if there's any gas in the lines. And that's the sequence. It goes AC, DC, and gas. Now, of course, you have to have the propane tank turned on and all that. And you don't want to necessarily be running down the road with the propane on and the fridge selected to gas, because you know, the pilot light in the fridge, or the flame in the fridge, it's just a tiny little flame that starts the cooling process. And we'll talk about that in another video, but in a video series I like to call Tech Talk, not TikTok, Tech Talk. But anyway, that flame could blow out, and then you have a constant flow of gas. And if you know, you come in the camper, or you know, there's any type of ignition source, you probably don't have as much camper as you did when you started out. So if you're gonna stock the fridge, you know, before you head out for a trip, it's best just to take it out of auto and select DC. So there you go. And let's see, coming around this way, we've got the living room area. This is a jackknife sofa, so it turns into a bed. It's probably not a bed I would comfortably sleep on, but you know, if it'd be better than sleeping on the ground, still better than sleeping in a tent, right? And here, this is where the table support's going to go. I don't know if you noticed the table up here or not, but it's a good sized table. And as you can see, the table support, which is located in this little storage compartment right here, that simply fastens in and tighten it down, and then you can stick the table on top of it, and you got a nice little place to eat breakfast, have your coffee, whatever the case may be. You can, I typically leave it off unless I'm eating or you know, working or anything like that. You can have it on when you're going down the road. It's perfectly designed for that. But I usually leave it off just because it's a little bit more room in here. All right, let's swing over to the left side of the rig here. All right, so here's our kitchen. Plenty of, actually, pretty adequate storage. You know, again, for a small camper, this thing is just, it's amazing how much room there is. And look at all that storage up there, little foot locker area. Okay, so in the kitchen, back to the kitchen. This is kind of cool. This is a roll-up dish strainer, I guess you'd call it. But it also, what's kind of cool about it, it gives you a little extra counter space. So it's pretty solid. You can also put dishes there to dry, like I said. Cold and hot water, of course. And remember, the kitchen sink drains outside where I showed you over by the water connection. All right, microwave. Got a microwave, and again, you'd have to be hooked up to an external AC power source for the microwave to function, as well as our roof air conditioner here. And this was a must. They don't all come with this. This is an option, but living here in Texas, man, nope, gotta have it. Of course, you wouldn't know it. It's beautiful out there today, but tomorrow we're supposed to have a high of 35 and more snow. Snow in March. I thought I left that all behind in Colorado.